also want to read from you, especially on Twitter, that Kwame Dazi has written on citynewsroom.com that album still relevant in today's music business. And I'm sure I'll just read the preamble for you so we can start the conversation here in the studio. Now, he writes, recently I was going through my archives and found a few cassettes of some old Ghanaian musicians. It evoked nostalgic memories of the days when cassette player was in vogue. I am sure those who grew up at the time that preceded the cassette days would be saying in their mind, small boys are young. I didn't come to meet the plate. I only saw spoiled samples of the plate players. While growing up, we either listened to music on the radio or from cassette players. For those of us who needed our freedom to listen to the music we wanted at the time we so desired, one had to get a Walkman. Now a Walkman. So now we need the big company, okay, boy. Now this one says, in fact, my active childhood days were during the nascent stages of the hip life game. Despite my exposure to early days Ghanaian rap from Mahoney P, Native Funk Lords, Talking Drums, Reggie Rockstone, Nananom Achiame Obrafo, and the like, I also had an eclectic taste for music. Now my love for high life music would nudge me to borrow cassettes of Asebu Amenfi, Pat Thomas, Ohiniba Kisi, Amachi Dede, and Kojo Entry from the older folks in my neighborhood. These were musicians with great albums and medleys. When hip life reached its highest noon in the early 2000s, it was still a common practice to have albums by the proponents of the new form of music, our version of hip hop. Now, in the days when artists could only get their music released with the help of executive music producers, one needed to have an album. No executive music producer would spend money to put just one track on a cassette or on a CD for just the music market. Therefore, releasing an album was a must-do. Agicote Records, Friend Prince Music Production, Big Ben Music Production, Slip Music, Megastar Limited, etc. invested their monies in musicians who had albums to sell and not singles. Now, the story goes on and on and on and on, but today, the story is different. If you ask a musician, when are you releasing an album? They'll go like, Charlie, I see a crowd the albums no release and then you're not waste, and it goes on like that. Not one musician has said this, several of them they have also said same. So would you go for an album or a single? Kobiche, you have been working with them recently. I saw you with Kwamina MP and the rest of the guys. You guys were chilling like that. Does Kwamina MP have an album?
No.
Okay. And you were also with Tulenke?
Yes.
Oh no, it was not
Tulenke.
Kofi Mole. Is he also having an album?
No.
Okay, so they are seated before you right now. Advise them. Should they do albums or they should continue with their singles?
All right.
I like the style of it.
All right, Brass. I mean, these days, I mean, per the research, and I like what Kwame, I mean, the write-up, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, in recent times where music promotion is very difficult, you need a lot of money to push to even record. It makes a lot of sense when, I mean, you have to release them one after the other and make the hits, because one single can even change your whole life. Example is the Patapa case, and even several of them who drop only one single, and I mean, in Yomba kono they see them talk bibia into Yomba kope into no say betumi drop on Yomba kona metumi at time e promote na menye ska wo ho dia I don't know say metumi ya nyombe 15-20 na me be to ho na ba ko be hit na dia kan nyina nkofo will not even pay attention to it. And I think it has also got to do with consumers. Sometimes we don't really request for album. Consumers and per hit, almost per single. Oh, drop a single mine. Because or drop. Now let's take a typical example. Is the album. This album highest.
Okay.
Or drop a highest. Up to the bedroom to meet at senior highest. No one goes anyway. Was it part of the album? Because most of them were not, I mean,
popular.
Mm-hmm.
They were not well promoted as well.
And so I think one of the challenges we face as artists is that they don't promote the albums. Chrome I been drop album and no. A typical example, someone who really promoted his album I think he took his time. The strategy behind in promoting the album was Stonebwoy.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Episode of Mama. Otonobo in your back on the album about Otonobo promoting series of events, activities around the album. So I think that is what we have to also learn. But single, even though single, no, a year there, but if you promote, if you bring out, or if you produce album, it gives you some mileage.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people must really do that. Even though singles, if you say, about rapper singer no help, no, but let's really encourage the young guys to also promote, to produce album.
Okay. But in a case where anytime an album is produced, maybe we pick one song which is our favorite, we bang, and we drop the rest of the songs. Meanwhile, all these songs will be good, correct songs, but because we have found interest or excitement in just one song, we play that song, and when that song dies, it dies with the whole album. Every good song on it dies as well.
So it comes back to my point, say, artists and drop album, now make sure you have a strategic plan in promoting all the songs.
Okay, so now this is their argument. If I release the album, maybe spend like 4 months to promote one track, another 4 months move on to another track, then why don't I save all this time by releasing one after the other? Because if you are not careful, maybe by the time you finish with the first song you are promoting for the first 4 months, when you get to the next song, to some people this is an old song. Why are you not giving us a new song?
That also makes sense.
If you are not careful, it makes the promotion difficult.
That also makes sense. But I mean, the part of our world where it is very difficult in promoting an album, at least it will be very sensible and very great to have an album in your archive. Okay, Xavier, okay, in the next generation, let's go and pick. And so now, I'm very shocked that Kofi Kenyatta any album. He's produced a lot of singles. At least you can put them together so that in the next generation, okay, so we can go on the internet or have a copy of Kofi Kenyatta album. But today, be a internet and a single, you're not giving yourself some mileage. Let's have a proper documentation of the songs we produce, not just one.
Okay.
Even though we are looking at, okay, we'll cash out the money producing the song one after the other. Let's try and save some of the songs on an album. I mean, let's get an album. For me, I advise every young guy, even though the singles are good for them, let's also encourage them that they should also produce an album so that one day we can revisit your items and say, okay, so this one and so has this number of songs on an album.
Okay.
What I say?
Okay, I get it. Now, thank you so much, Kobe Che. And I believe Kobe Che is preaching the two. Is that not it?
Yes.
You did not go for one. Let's go for the two. All right. Obviously, you go for the one that will be easy for you to do. Stress on the beat says, Bra Sammy, albums are relevant and irrelevant for the following reasons. If you happen to be an upcoming artist, the single is for you. But when you gain more fans, you need to compile them for an album, and you get cash out of that. That is his response. Meanwhile, we will be talking to the guys at Play Africa. This is a music selling platform here in Ghana. We'll be asking them questions like, when someone is buying songs from their platform, which one do they normally buy? Do they buy the albums or they buy the singles? And again, Simple comes on Twitter and he says, anything that stands a chance of winning an award is very relevant. You can win an award with an album, and if you promote the singles well, you win awards with every single one of them, depending on how good their songs are. Promotion is very key. Now,
albums, though still important, I don't think they are as important as it used to be back in the day, because that was the analog era where, like Kwame Dazi said, you had executive producers who would not spend their money on a song. So you needed a body of work put together, and then they invest into it and make sure that whatever they need to get out of it is gotten. And people understood albums. People were buying the vinyl, and then it came to cassettes. People bought that because you had a body of songs on it. Now digitization has split everything. Now you can actually single the songs one and put them together, and even when it's bought, it could still be singled out.
Exactly.
If you pick somebody's phone, they want maybe the hit song from Stonebwoy, the hit song from Shatta, the hit song from Samini, the hit song from this. Put them all together and listen to the songs that they feel. I'm sure back in the day, people bought albums and were forced to like songs they didn't even like because wato obeboa manako utrim. Now they have the luxury of just selecting the one they want and going straight for it. You know, if it's Stone Boys Top Seed I want, I go straight for Top Seed and I'm good to go. Again, digitization has also made it possible for that split to happen. So you don't need to put all together and go and look for an executive producer who wouldn't spend a lot of money on just a song. Now you can just produce one song, put it on all these internet digital stores, and that song can still be making money for you. If they had this opportunity back then, I'm sure some of them would still be focusing on singles. But the opportunity wasn't there. You needed to put everything together, spend like 6 months or spend like a year to produce an album before you put it out, and spend like 2 years before you come back with another album. Oh yeah, someone will say that album you produce will last for the whole year. People will still be enjoying songs from it. But now the guys do not have time to wait because we're on a fast lane. Radio stations are emerging every day. New technology is happening every day, and so people need to do things to fill their space. So you release a song, next 2-3 months release another song. It keeps you relevant. It keeps you in the eyes or in the minds of the people. The more people get to hear of you, the more they want to follow you. But album will make you delay. Can you release 3 albums in a year?
If you want to, and if you think you have the following, you have the people who
Today,
the audience.
Today, will you succeed with 3 albums?
No, if you have the audience going for it, why not? You can.
But do folks have the audience? Not even Shatta. You see, not even Shatta. So releasing 3 albums a year now would be very difficult. So you might probably do just one. After you've done the 1 or 2, how do you sustain till the end of the year? You still come back to the singles. So why don't you just go straight, do the singles after you've established, like Kofi Kinata, after you have established, you can put together maybe 15 of your songs, name it, put it on a digital store. Bottom line is make money. Bottom line, make money. If it's the album that will give you the money, fair enough. If it's the singles, fair enough. It's about gathering your singles into a body of work. Maybe Kofi Kinata Volume 1, Kofi Kinata Volume 2. Whether I like it or not, it is still his project. It's still his works. One will say albums come with themes, you know, so you want to talk about like Beyonce did a gift for Africa, Lion King. So that's a theme that will probably run through the song. If you have a lot of songs, you would have a theme running through a certain number of songs that when you put them together could pass for an album. It's the money. Singles. And the platforms that you need to sell them on allow for singles to thrive even more. And what are people asking for? Demand, demand meets supply or supply meets demand or whichever it is. What are the people asking for? Are they asking for albums or singles? If the people are asking for singles and you drop albums, you are not correlating with what the market is looking for. A lot of people now go for singles. I doubt how many young folks will even go on digital stores to buy albums. Even when they download their albums, they play just 2 or 3 songs they know on the album. And forget the rest. Yes, they just fill space. And when they need to delete something to put something else on, they delete probably those songs and fill them with the things they want immediately. If I go for Sammy's album, Untamed, and the song on it is maybe Oba that I feel, I'll go straight to download Oba. And go to Shatta to download my favorite from him. Go to Sistefia, download my favorite from her. And I put together a collection of favorites that I listen to.
That will be your playlist.
And that will be my playlist. And that's what I would spend money on. So instead of buying a full album for like say 50 CDs, when I can split that 50 CDs to get a playlist of my favorites, I will ignore the albums and buy a playlist of my favorites. Single from the stores and put it together. Now, if this is what majority of the market is going for, why would you want to produce an album? Why would you spend about 50,000 or even more, produce an album where just 2 or 3 of the songs will be the ones that people will jive to? Then what happens to the rest of the songs that you could have saved and, like you said, release as new songs? Because the truth is, if you put out an album of 15 songs and you want to take 2 years to promote each song on the album or even promote 10 songs on the album, there will come a time where 5 of the songs or the rest will be seen as old songs. It will be very difficult for you to even marketing. Stoneboy was lucky to have sold Epistles of Mama because he had multiple hit songs on it, and that's just one that got away. The highest. How many popular hit songs are on the highest? How many popular hit songs are on the highest.
What is the name of the new EP Sarko they released?
It's not out. Black Love.
It is not out yet.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an album.
You see, but the singles are keeping them. How do you call it? Relevant. It's keeping them like visibility. We spoke about this morning. It's giving them visibility. They are able to shoot videos for it. Like so, they budget for the music and the video gives them relevance and gives them importance. In fact, singles are making superstars now. So if a single can make me a superstar because I have enough to produce the song, I have enough to shoot a good video, I have enough to, pay 1 or 2 people to do promotion for me, pay bloggers, when that same money would have been used for an album without videos, because that whole money could go into just an album, paying different producers to produce different kinds of songs on the same album. Maybe you want a reggae song on it, you want a hip life song on it, you want a high life song on it, you want an Afrobeat song on it, and perhaps there are producers that are best at all these genres. You will pay each of them to produce this song for you towards one album. Now you would have to go for whatever it is, plan how to even release the album and so on and so forth. That same money could shoot a video for one song you believe in, one song you can push to the best of your knowledge with what you have, and that could give you a hit, that could give you relevance, it could bring money to you. But those who are ready to go the long haul for albums, or more train on them semi-producer album for 6 months, I'll push the song. Fair enough. If you have the money and that patience, do it. But the listeners are not waiting for you.
I remember when DJ Roy was alive, he said that if you are an artist and you don't have any album to your credit, then it means your musicianship is weak or incomplete, like you've added. So how are we going to also consider that statement from past till now?
But you see, not everybody will believe in that statement. That's what we should know. There are people who are of the school of thought that if you do not have an album, you are not an artist who is complete. I'm sure Rexoma might have a divergent opinion based on the article that Kwame Dazi wrote. But then Willie Roy, may he so rest in perfect peace, talented musician. He's seen it all, done it all. Rexoma, he's also seen it all, done it all, and even occupying a very sensitive position on the ladder of music here in Ghana. So his opinions also matter. I'm sure if you call him to ask him now whether without an album an artist cannot be considered an artist, holds true. Mind you, Willie Roy's era is not Kofi Mole's era. Willie Roy's era is not Kwesi Arthur's era. What made an artist in Willie Roy's era might not necessarily be what will make an artist today. So the elements of what an artist is judged might be different from what elements used to judge artists of today. So Kwesi Arthur, Kofi Mole, Kwame MP, Kofi Kinata, and all these guys, they have their own meaning and understanding of who an artist is. The elements differ. So if back in the day you needed to have an album to be called an artist, what do you say to Shatawale, who has maybe close to 1,000 songs with less than 10 albums? Would you say somebody who has close to 1,000 songs is not an artist because he doesn't have as many albums as you think, or doesn't probably have, like Kofi Kinata, who might not even have an album as we speak? Would you say because he doesn't have an album, Kofi Kinata cannot be considered an artist upon all the impactful songs he's made, upon all the visibility? Look at his show in Takrade.
Made in
Tadi. One of the biggest events, regional events we have. Can you negate all those and say because he does not have an aspect of what makes a musician, he should be thrown out because he's not a musician, he doesn't have an album? No. And to know Roy era, a different saying Kofi Molemu era today. What makes them should be used now and not back in the day.
All right, thank you so much, Arnold Mason Levanyo. I'm sure today we'll give you some time to also come on the phones to speak your knowledge, to speak your opinion, and to speak your mind on this particular one. That even as a music consumer, which one would you want to go for? Do you want to go for an album or you want to get a singles? Once again, let's read some of your tweets. You guys put us at number 1. And now Simple says, Bro Sammy, please, is Kobe Che a serious Sack native? You asked about Sarkodie's AP and he said it's an album titled Black Love, which is yet to be released. Seriously, tell him that Sack has released an EP titled Alpha. And that was what I was actually looking for. The Alpha. Was it very impactful, the Alpha EP?
Well, I don't think to the level he wanted it. Alpha, something came and covered Alpha's shine. I think it was the rap beef. Strongman and Medical's rap beef or something. One of these saviors came and covered the shine. Alpha didn't do as well as he wanted it.
Well, I was actually looking for Alpha. Thank you so much, Simple, for that one. And Joe Levels, maybe Arnold, he has an issue with some submission. He says, yo, Arnold, you debore me with your submissions. Kwesi get EP. Kofi Mole get EP. MP get a body of wax. You want to respond to him?
Young man, before the EP, what had
Say
they
young
done?
man. How do you know he's a young man? How do you know he's a young man?
But he's a young man.
No, maybe he's.
What's his name?
Joe Levels.
Onukpa. Why? Yet.
You don't have an album yet?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Why you not having an album?
Okay, Sammy. Let me start it. You see, as an artist, discography is very, very important in every artist's, career. If you go to the Western world, an artist is judged or is adjudged being a good artist when he has an album.
Okay.
If you don't
Even
have
now?
Yes, now.
Okay.
If you don't have an album, people can't vouch for you as to how good you are. You could have the biggest hit song in the world. If you don't have an album, people might still not take you serious. There are artists in America who are very good rappers, and when rappers conversation comes up, they want to put themselves there, and people will say, shut up, you don't have an album. Because your one verse or two verse does not make us put you in that conversation. We need to hear a body of work of you that will make us believe that you are that good. Now, when Arnold said that when you have plenty songs and you don't have an album, it's cool. Why do you put your contents on your PC by putting them in files so that they can easily be accessible? So you have this file, xylophone file. You have ME file. When you click xylophone file, you know everything that is there. When you click Emily file, you know everything that is there, so that the songs does not get scattered all around. The issue of albums leaving our system here in Ghana started when we started losing our executive producers.
Okay.
Because back in the day, when you have executive producer, let's say Big Ben or Lucky Sounds at the time, when you finish the album, Lucky Sounds may buy the cassette right. Let's say all the cassette rights for Ghana belongs to Lucky Sounds.
Okay.
Then you can sell the cassette rights in the UK alone to maybe some Flex. Then you can sell the rest of Europe cassette rights to maybe Asmesi. Then you do so also for CD. So when these people left the system, everybody felt like, Charlie, now that we've lost it, we need to find ways and means of still staying relevant in the system. Then also, when people started cultivating the mentality of putting selections together, before selections used to be sold in traffic, like maybe our store and our office, boss, me anyway. What they did was, those people,
and those were the pirates. I'm sure one guy was talking about.
Exactly.
Stress on the beat.
What those people did was, those people buy albums of artists. So they buy an album from Sammy, buy an album from Kobiche, buy an album from me. Then they sit down, select the songs on your album, some on Kobiche, some on mine, and they put them together to form a selection and come and sell it to you. So those people also contributed in people coming to believe that, okay, if just one song could make a person popular and be relevant in the system and everything, why worry to have an album? You understand? So everybody felt like single is the thing. So that also is a thing that actually brought about it. Now also, you see the oldies, the Lumbers and the Kojonchis and everything. The reason why they were able to get to the level where they are today, the reason why we worship them, see them legendaries and everything, is because they had albums that had hit songs throughout the album. Back in the day, when you buy a cassette, you want to buy a Kojonchi's cassette, be proud of having a Kojonchi cassette and being able to sing every song on the cassette.
Like we did in the days of Paimuka.
Exactly. Because at that point, we had been affected by the Western world's mentality of music, and that is to cherish an album from an artist. we had never gone looking for shortcut ways to do our own thing. So you buy the album, you listen to the album and feel like, hey, Lumba album way, so yeah, then no. But Bianca, yeah, now we be track 2 and 3 there, I just need one. But the cultivation or the mentality of doing an album and listening to albums, it's a thing that we need to adjust to. It makes artists better, it makes artists good, it makes artists valuable as well. In Ghana, sometimes somebody calls it for sure. But you see, people come to events. People even make hit records on stage. Why do somebody who get up and play his brand new song that has never been heard before on stage? Why? You are putting the people into the music. So when a person does an album, somebody could come on stage and perform all his albums. By the time you leave, you will have a different favorite from the one you know. So this is also a contributory factor why our music industry is at this point that it is. It's a contributory factor that we may be looking, we don't even look at it, but it is. Because an artist being very valuable stands also on this.
Okay.
Why do people come, they make one hit record and then they disappear from the system? We don't hear from them again, or they don't come up again. Even in America, it happens. That is why one song I am for serious, you need to have a certain body of work. Because if your song in Ghana, if you do an album, that's the mentality we have, and it goes on the Billboard whatsoever, what does it give you? If it's not streamed, if it's not download, what does it give you? But you see, any deeper musical person will ask you, how many albums as an artist do you have? Mm-hmm. That is why the people with the biggest picture, the Stone Boys and the Sax and the Shatters, they are focusing on albums. Because baby that is a key question that keeps coming.
They will answer.
Yes, it's a key question. Because discography in every artist's life is important. If you go and say, I have 20 singles, how do we find them? We should go online and type Fall Down, find it. Then we type
where is that library keeping these songs?
Exactly. So do you have an album? Yes, Rain. We type Rain, everything pops up. We know this guy is that. So every artist, if you have that bigger mindset, that bigger mentality, that you need to have an album. It makes you valuable. It makes you cherished. Because either than that, I say we kill ourselves. Like Arnold was saying that here we have found our own way, knowing that one song will make it. No, it is not something we need to encourage. It is not. Every artist, your work base or what you can do must be based on an app. Somebody would ghost write a song for you. It becomes a huge hit record. Baby, are now on your proper artist.
Exactly.
Maybe you are not even somebody who is even considering music. Tibakune to munana Sammy flex the whole year. What shows you know what yakoda. You understand? So if you are a proper artist, we need to find your body of work. Where is it? Sammy has an album titled Sammy Flex Nation. We check it. Everything. When we listen, production 100%, content pure. Like everything is on point. Then we know your artistry level is on that level. The reason why Willie Roy made the statement he made was because Willie Roy has been up there. He understands the business from top. And anybody who has been up there will never discourage that practice. And so every artist with a bigger picture in the mind, Ghana, our biggest problem has been looking at the bigger picture. That is us. We have become people that Ufrija say we have a shortcut way of doing it. The white man may throw away, but we always find shortcut ways of doing things. We don't implement. We don't do things from scratch. We always find shortcut ways to do it, thinking we are smart, but we are actually dumbing down our ability. You understand? We are done because they be Charlie. How about the way I waste time? Person will be near from No, looking at the bigger picture, nobody from the outside world will take you serious. How many albums do you have? I don't have an album yet. How many songs? Oh, I have plenty singles. Okay, so how do we find them? Google Sammy Flex Nation. We find it. Google for that. No. As an artist, you need to be like compact. Everything needs to be properly arranged so that when you go on your PC and you have the things you want to play on xylophone tomorrow, you have a file that has it. Scatter all these things on your PC and see how you go hustle. Or make stickers, scatter it. You go bore. Sticker. Put everything in this file. Put everything in that file. So until we have that mindset and start thinking that way, we'll always not make a move. So, I mean, any country that's have their seriousness about their music business will never come down to this way of thinking.
I see.
Albums are very important.
Then the question begs to be asked that so that Hafko knows all this. Why is he waiting? What is he waiting for?
You see, yes, I am putting together an album.
Okay.
It's just taking long, but it's a thing that I'm doing.
Okay.
It's a thing that I'm doing because you see, Sammy, putting together an album, no, you could decide to put together trash on an album. Yeah, Obi Oha, he has the mindset say, "Minya one hit song or so, na me the ball and na me we." I don't like that because I am not putting every song that I've recorded on my album. I'm picking the pure ones, the pure and good ones, so that when I put the 15 together and you have the 15 piece, you never regret. You feel like even if in my lifetime I'm able to do only one album, it will forever stay to be cherished for everybody to know that okay, the guy even had one album, but it's pure, like it's crazy. You understand? So for me, yes, I mean, because for me, our documentaries, I listen to music, I follow music everywhere. Artists are winning the album, you know. You will even die with your name going down. Because albums will be used to credit you, to remember you in so many ways.
I see. Now let me ask this question before we move on. I still would want to talk to the Play Africa guys. That is also a music platform where you can buy, you can download, and you can stream as well. But then I want to know from them the culture of buying songs on their platform. Has it been more of albums or more of singles? But then before I move on to that, I want to ask Dada Hofko, the EP character or attitude among us now, are we using it right? Everyone comes in, it is an EP. I remember the day Bibini came here, I asked him why it is not an album or an EP, and they gave me some explanation, which was hard to take though, but I took it like that. But Hafko, forgive me, let me do this briefly. So EP ni album 70 or see clear. Because you need it's a EP ni album no more kind of keke on pese a Becca album na hunto kind of EP, but still a bit a friend album there. Maminko Play Africa. Me sure say me bra. Boss, good morning.
Good morning, bro Sammy.
Isaac, Bibi Aboko na Play Africa. Monsu business ko saying.
Oh, Nyankopon Adom. Nyankopon Adom. Kakaka. When I'm supposed to say Play Africa has the biggest music catalog ever in Ghana history.
They have the biggest what?
Music catalog ever in Ghana music history.
Music catalog in Ghana.
Yeah.
Wow.
The biggest music catalog ever in Ghana music history.
Wow.
Play Africa is now having it.
Charlie, great works. Because I still remember your beginning. It's more the biggest music catalog there. But then, Ike, come away simple. And pay na yenya Kwame Daisy Atro citynewsroom.com say see Accra there album there. Ehungusu on faso and ehuni faso. Na ye can about more enjoy albums and our singles. Ni bisa se ne turning point saying see I did say obi nko music shop na koto or CD so na cassette so. Mo platform to say Play Africa after on the kaka here na better free. Enti more such platform. Do not know more ton free mo hono. Omo to albums more and omo to singles more.
Me that's me che what chief no pay. Na ma champion for studio ho so no pay. Any adwuma pa mo ye. Na no kwa woman say say albums no say obi release album a ebia what 10 songs a onko na ebia nyumba me nsabi na ye very commercial eyenko for the power wo and you know can na nko for album no beto ni nyina wato nyum 10 but nyum 10 depend on pay but streaming service ne buy no nyako ni say this is nipa ne kwa ma wo say some streaming service bi wo listed the whole album for sale and you be onko na bia album of 10 songs no ebi oton 10 CDs but because of that what Play Africa we started doing was we will not list the whole album for sale, but we will list the entire album for you to go to have access to the album. And in the kwa or share inside, okay, anyum way me there. Now for what list the album now in the library, now for all streaming. That has but so far we've seen said the singles and the single songs that are on the albums are getting massive sales and streaming. That's Nipa better the entire album on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enti mo krampo no mo hwe mo kika mo nema boma amanfo to singles no chain albums no.
People buy singles a lot. Make I say you know we be near releasing the EP.
Yeah.
And when the EP was released, you see said there are some couple of songs. This track featuring Felinuna. Yeah.
Too Bad. It is called Too Bad.
Yeah, Too Bad. Just the day we released the song, the song has jumped to number, I think, 12 on our top 10. Yes, on the top 100 songs, number 12. Just that song on the album. And so you will see, sir, the entire album, the majority of the people who are going in, love that song because they feel it's a love song. They feel they can relate with it. But however, other people will go for, let's say, M7 and other tracks that are on it for them to auto stream. But sir, and the research that we did before we launched Play Africa, we saw say a lot of people buy the album and they feel like, oh, some of the songs on it, I don't even need it, or it's not my favorite song. So why then, if they have an option to listen to one particular song on the album, they will have that option. That's why we design it in that way.
I see. Yeah. But are they making good money from the sales of these singles from your platform, Sikane Eba?
Of course, when somebody plays the music, the moment you click, and you know, one thing we also have done is we don't use the international pro-rata system, but we use user-centric. This is the first time in the world because pro-rata, they look at artist influence or app and so, and our streaming service and so. But user-centric, we've made this as I'm of course now click one pair, artist making it sicker. And so far, I can tell you in the consortium, last month we had a review meeting. In the consortium, I can say in Africa we are leading about a fourth streaming service who is paying huge amount of money. Yes, and so for me, the artists are making good money, very, 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 very good money. Yes, of course, from the service.
All right, thank you so much, Ike, for talking to us from Play Africa. And I think even his explanation tells us why people are doing more singles. I say albums. You know why? Mr. Massive, so many people want to contribute. You
know why? Whatever the media feeds on is what the people accept. So the problem is from top. You see, if Xylophone here, if we had a program manager here who makes sure of content that goes on air every day, the playlist he would do for yesterday, he won't do it for today. So yesterday say your boy you be today it might not come in. So it gives opportunities to other songs instead of the same songs being played everywhere every day. Every day piano you be and I ko hit ko joy ko peace ko win. Today we are making only few superstars out of their lot. So if programs manager exists here or your playlist and today the playlist that is for today, it is for maybe Kobiche, Jata, me. Tomorrow it is for you, Mr. Massive Arnold. So every day different content goes on air. When it happens like that, most albums you can have hit songs from most albums. That is what Lumba Dems they used to have. They were not having only one song being played every time. They had different songs on rotation. That is why when you pick a Lumba song, every song on it is a hit. You pick a Kogenchi song, every song on it is a hit. Because when the playlists are different, you don't play almost the same thing every day. Today, our system has been monopolized. So, one song now, media and the best at hamano. We hammer it down so you can go on a show and you realize that we'll play a song that may not even be a good song, but because it's a hit song, people jump to it. But when you play a good song that is not a hit song, people will not jump to it because they don't know the song. So it is what the media feed into. That is what the people accept. As for the people, they are there. Obi oha odimsa fall down air deal. But or train ama when we say nipa bebre start hailing before and son obe join the bandwagon. So it is what the media puts out there. That's what the people also join.
Okay.
So for me, I think the problem it is even bigger than what we are seeing. It's even bigger than that. Because until we regulate air time, Sammy, and yes, I be able to because there are DJs back in the day when in Frama we came, there were DJs who used to play Philly Gadocha. They will call you and say, Charlie, ya boy, ya bro, mu ni new one be ho. You understand? Because that was the system they used to know back then. But today, yeah, bomb and not it.
Okay.
Everybody comes, maybe when we play 4 down right now, when we sign off and we go, stick and so bebo. Or black rust and so bebo. When all these things needs to be solved, then we can have a proper regularization of the airtime and content that goes on there and everything. Then albums will become very relevant.
Thank you so much, Dada Havko. And some big ears are following. Good morning to you, Dela Botri. Dela Botri, also a great man. And even he has an album as well. He plays the flute and he has an album. I'm sure he brought some to us here some time ago. And he said Dada Havko is making sense. I agree with him. Once again, good morning to you.